Hi everyone!
Hey guys!
We've got a fun one for you today.
It's our favorite openings of the spring 2019 season.
She's Riley.
She's Rila.
And this is a Bulletoon weekend!
Let's start by establishing some rules. First of all, these aren't necessarily in any particular order.
Yep, it's just a list of our favorites. We probably both have at least one favorite, but the rest are basically interchangeable.
So, what's up first?
Oh, well, first let's take a trip to another world. Or 4.
You know, in retrospect, I should have expected that.
Isekai Quartet is a total delight.
Total? Rila, you don't like Overlord? You can only watch Konosuba for 10 minutes a day, and you've never seen Tanya the Evil.
But Ren is in it! And so is that Baka Subaru. But also Ren!
Right. Anyway, let's stay on topic here, alright?
Right. The OP! The OP for Isekai Quartet is fantastic. I'm a sucker for an OP that gets the main cast to sing it. And hearing Tanya and Ainz do their part is hilarious.
Also, the translated lyrics are pretty funny too. Mostly because they are blatant lies. All of them.
But that's part of the charm. The visual style even captures all the characters' personalities in a simple but super effective way that also just makes the whole thing even cuter and funnier.
Right. Well, for my first contribution, we're gonna look into something a little more bizarre.
Riley stayed up all night trying to come up with that one.
Shut up! Anyway, it's not the best JoJo's opening out there, but it still gets the job done. I love the slow intro to the sound we're probably familiar with from a JoJo song. The visuals also complement the build-up by basically recapping all the important stuff that's happened up to this point. Then, an explosion of classic JoJo's with visuals to show us what more we can expect. It's awesome!
Still though,
What?
it's not the catchiest thing ever. I mean, it's so Sono Chi no Sadame, or Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town.
Well, yeah, but doesn't every JoJo's do this around the climax? Diamond is Unbreakable did it, and who can forget that awesome change-up for Stardust Crusaders with the Dio time freeze?
Yeah, that's true. I guess speaking of OPs that aren't necessarily the catchiest things ever, next up is Fairy Gone.
Seriously?
Yep, though I'll admit it's mostly for the great visuals. I love the way they made the opening have this storybook quality in a lot of the shots, and it actually works really well with the gorgeous animation of the show itself.
You do mean aside from the nightmare fuel CGI, right?
And the song's not bad at all.
Oi, you ignoring me?
Next up is...
Oi, it's my turn, damn it!
Oh, of course. You go right ahead, Riley.
So, you guys know I couldn't make a list like this without Jam Project, right? So it's about time we talk about a tune fit for heroes, or one hero in particular. Let's talk One Punch Man!
Oh, goody. We're talking about this. Again.
So, the anime...
Riley,
Huh?
we're talking about the openings now, not the shows.
Yeah, I know. I just...
Riley, the opening. You can talk about the show another time.
But...
The opening, Riley. Please and thank you.
But...
Riley.
Right, so, the opening's pretty awesome from a musical standpoint. Jam Project, after all. I especially love that really dark, primal first verse. It starts it off with the haunting image of the Monster Association in the background. Then, it starts showing off the heroes and transitions into the main supporting cast.
I'm not really sure why they felt the need to include all those character tags, though. Feels kinda unnecessary if you ask me.
Well, it's a good thing nobody did ask you.
Ada, how rude. And the images over the pre-chorus were pretty... weak, too.
But the chorus is pretty awesome, bringing in the biggest players of the arc. And the action visuals ain't half bad. I mean, still nowhere near as good as...
Riley?
Right. Your turn.
Thank you. Next up for me was... Well, there was no way I couldn't put this on here, but I think I'm gonna have to study it a bit closer.
Rila, if you reach for these jokes anymore, the moon's gonna demand a restraining order.
Aw, but that one was cute.
Sad. The word you want is sad.
Mean. Anyway, the opening for Bokuben is great. A catchy, upbeat tune, really solid visuals.
Oh, so that's where the other 90% of the animation budget went.
Hey now, a show doesn't need incredible animation to be good. Right?
But, well...
I love the little comic dots effects they use over some of the shots, and the animation is seriously on a whole nother level, compared to the show itself. It's really sleek and polished.
But it's mostly just pretty and catchy. Then there's my next one. I'll just put it this way, it's one hell of an opening.
Yeah, and I'm the one reaching for the jokes here.
The opening for Kimetsu no Yaiba is, in a word, amazing!
She really likes it, could you tell?
First off, the song. Gurenge is an awesome track by Lisa. You know, that Lisa, the one behind one of the few things you liked about SAO.
I prefer to remember by the best of all, the Boku no Hero Academia endings. Am I weird for wanting to see a show based around the fantasy AU in that video?
Hell no! That'd be friggin' awesome! But anyway, the opening, right. The song is epic. But you wanna know what else rocks about it? The animation. Ufotable is obviously known for having damn good action choreography, packing as much style as possible into their work. This opening shows that off big time. It gives us some downright stellar frames to look at. And all it's really even doing is telling the story of the first arc. I mean, damn, that water blade technique. Whew, boy, that looks sick. And the motion's also fluid. I also really love the actual line work. It's just great across the board, man.
It helps that the song does get you pumped up. Appropriate for a shonen, I guess. But if you want a song that's gonna get you in a different kind of mood, my last opening is sure to punch you right in the feels.
How appropriate that her favorite opening is coming from her favorite anime of the season too.
You knew?
Duh. You were bouncing when you heard Fruits Basket was getting a reboot. You haven't stopped randomly sighing around the house since it came out.
I was not randomly sighing.
You sure? 'Cause there was totally sighing, and it seemed pretty random-like. Also, the occasional fits of bawling uncontrollably.
Can you blame me? Fruits Basket is so beautiful!
Right. So, the opening basically just takes my sister down memory lane. She loved the originals, so yeah. That said, it does have an undeniably gorgeous track, and again, by Beverly. Those vocals are so clean, mellow, and pretty, it's like it's engineered to make your heart melt.
Right?
It's a really good piece. It was gunning hard for my favorite spot of the season, and I would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for a couple of meddling kids. Oh, and their manager.
Eh?
You haven't been keeping up with it, have you? I'm talking about the fantastic opening for Carolyn Tuesday.
Oh, right. So, in case you all hadn't figured it out, my sister's, a bit of a music head. She gets it from our brother. You may want to brace yourselves.
Relax. Unlike someone I know, I actually have a little self-control.
Really? Well, I'm glad you seem to have learned from the karaoke night incident.
That was not my fault!
Okay.
Anyway, there's a lot I would love to say about this one. Hell, the show in general has been great so far. But on the subject of the opening, we'll start with the most obvious thing. It's in English. The song Kiss Me by Nine Bricks and Selena Ann is this smooth contemporary R&B pop blend sort of track that's super appropriate given the show's two leads. It's really mellow with an awesome bass line and a really smooth transition from something kind of upbeat to something more chill, then to this sort of fusion of the two styles. And oh my god, it is beautiful! Visually, I mean.
Usually I'd say that it's not surprising that it's gorgeous. It is Studio Bones after all, but this is uniquely pretty. It has this urban painting style, kind of like living street art.
And I love how the animation is all synced up to different parts of the song. The first and second sequences are done to verse. The last one's done to the beat. And it's not just that. The visuals are also kinda telling a story. Not the story of the whole anime or anything like that, but it tells you a little about each girl with the first two sequences.
A really nice touch was how Tuesday reaches off-screen at the end of her bit and grabs someone's hand to swing around. Then, at the end of Carol's bit, she reaches off-screen and grabs someone's hand, pulling Tuesday on-screen and finishing the animation.
Then, transitioning to them dancing in the street and putting on a show was great, but there are a ton of little touches that also help make this opening something special. Like how the buildings in the background of Carol's ballet piece sort of resemble a waveform. All in all, it's just a really amazing opening that I absolutely cannot get enough of.
And those are our lists.
We would have done a separate list for our favorite endings of the season too, but...
Yeah, This season didn't really give us a lot to work with, so here's a quick look at some of the ones we would have gone with.
And that's everything, guys! Our favorite openings and endings of the Spring 2019 anime season.
What about you guys? What were your favorite openings of the season?
Leave a comment below and give that like button a zap while you're down there.
Don't forget to subscribe. Also, give that bell a ring so you're notified whenever we upload a new video.
This has been a Bulletoon weekend.
I'm Rila, signing off.
I'm Riley, bowing out.
Thanks so much for watching.
Keep up the awesome and stay tuned!